Hello everyone. Let us start the next concept, that is quantifiers. What is quantifier? There is a definition here. The words all, every, some, any, there exists, etc., which are associated with open statement with the idea of quantity are called quantifiers. These are all the words which are associated with certain quantity for every student. Some members are there, any one author. So we use these uh, words wordings, and with these wordings we apply certain quantity. So these are the words which are used, or these are the used which denote certain quantity. So that's why these these words are nothing but, for that we call these as the open statement. If at all we are using that term, every student has to appear for internal assessment compulsory. Every is the word which tells you certain quantity, and this statement is a open statement. Since it doesn't have any definite number of students in my example as I've taken, so that's why it is not a statement which gives a clear uh, number of students, how many students should appear, or all. Also I can use the word all the students are informed to attend the. See here, all means how many are there, the exact number is not there. Because of this, it gives a meaning of certain quantity. So that's why the statements in which statements, if at all we are using these terms, so then we say those are the open statements, and these words are nothing but which denote certain quantity. So we call it as a quantifier. The phrases for all, for every, for any, etc., are called universal quantifiers. So for all, for every, for any, so these for these we call it as a universal quantifier. The phrases for some, there exists, for at least one, etc., are called essential quantifiers. So there are two types of quantifiers: universal quantifiers and essential quantifiers. So these three comes under the universal, and these comes under essential. For some, there exists, for at least one. These are called as the essential quantifiers. Universal quantifiers are denoted by. So these are the notations in this discrete mathematics. We normally in each and every concept there are notations. So universal quantifiers are denoted with this uh, symbol, and essential quantifiers, that is if at all we are using at least one and all, so then we use this symbol. Next, a proposition involving the universal or the essential quantifier is called a quantified statement. Suppose if at all we are using any one of these universal or essential, so then it is called as a quantified statement. The variable present in the quantified statement is called a bond variable. It is a bond by a quantifier. uh, so why it is called as a bond means there is certain value for that, there is certain number for that. If at all I am using for all, for that, for all, there is certain quantity associated with that. Some bonding is there, or some number is there for that, but we don't know that number, so that's why it is denoted with these all symbols, like universal quantifier symbol or essential quantifiers symbol. Yes. Certain rules are there in our quantified statement also. This is for all x. P of x is true only when p of x is true for each and every value of the universal of the universe. So when this will be true, when p of x is true for each and every value of the universe, then this p of x will be going to be true. And this will be false only when p of x is false for each and every value of the universe. So if it has to be true, then it has to be true for each and every value of the universe. If it has to be false, then it has to be false for each and every values of the universe. So what is that universe? When we take an example, at that time we can come to know. So now it has to be taken as granted, I can say, and accepted. And when will be solving some examples, at that time uh, we can surely ensure that how exactly this concept can be applied. If what is this? For all x belongs to yes, p of x is true, and if A belongs to S, then P of A is true. This rule is called rule of universal specification. So these are just points which are to be remembered at this point of time, and the symbols how we read it. For all x, A belongs to S, and P of A is true. Then for all A, P of X is true. This rule is called rule of universal generalization. So rule of negation. So we are using a negation term over here. So since we are using a negation term, so there exists here, there exists, or for at least x, negation of p, we write it as. And here coming to there exists, or yes, for there exists, we use our essential quantifiers. So we use there exists, and this particular symbol is used, and this is for all symbol. For all, we are using this particular symbol, and there exists and all. So these comes under essential quantifiers. And two quantified statements are said to be logically equivalent when they have the same truth values in all possible situations. So for all, this is for all p of x and q of x. So for all x, p of x, and for all x, q of x. So for all x, so this should exercise for all the elements of x. P of x should exercise for all the elements of x, and q of x also should exercise for all the elements of x. It means that for every whatever, if assume that for if in this x there are three elements, for all these three elements, this p of x should undergo the operation. And there exists x, p of x, or q of x. So there exists, if at all only one element exists, then p of x should undergo that. And or here also q of x also should undergo. In the same way, there is a conditional. So in the conditional, we use negation of p or negation of q. So as we saw in the laws of logic, it is in the same manner. And for all x, negation of p of x is equivalent to for no x, p of x. That is, we'll see this in the coming examples. So yes, this example will clarify, or this example will make you understand the above cases or above scenarios, whatever we learn. And that is for all, for each, and for there exists and all. Here, for the universe of all integers, let p of x is greater than 0. X is greater than 0, x may be 1, x may be 2, x may be 3. And for q of x, x, q of x, here in this x is even number. So it means x will always be 2, 4, 6, 8 like that. R of x, R of x, R is a perfect square. So whatever the value of x will be there, that will be a perfect square. R, S of x, x should be divisible by 3. Okay, and T of x, x is divisible by 7. So these are some of the statements given. write down the following quantified statement in symbolic form. uh, Whenever we use these whenever we have these sentences, we have to write the quantified statements in a symbolic form. So these are the all symbolic forms. And as we have learned in the previous slides, that is for all, for each, and there exists. So based upon the uh, sentences, we need to uh, frame those quantified statements by using those symbols. So let us take here the first, at, at least one integer is even. So for which at least in one integer is even, here x is even for q of x. So at least comes for with this symbol x q of x. Okay, and we'll take one more. For this one, this is associated with q of x, and there is at least term which is used. So if it is x least, we are using this one, and that's why I told in the previous slide, there exists at least one. So then we use this particular symbol. For all, if it is there, we are using this symbol. Okay. There exists a positive integer that is even. There exists means again this same symbol itself. Okay. And there exists a positive integer that is even. Positive integer means we are using this particular uh, p of x. Okay, p of x, and how it is, it should be there exists a positive integer which is even, p of x, and why and because both are there. If it is to be, if it should it is positive, and if it is even, so then both should be there, both has to satisfy the condition of and operation. So that's why there exists, for this there exists, we are using this one. And p of x is associated with this, there is, it is a positive integer. So since x is greater than 0, so it is a positive, and q of x means it is even. So we'll see one more example, that is yes, third one. Some even integers are divisible by 3. The very some even integers, that is, I think q of x, x is even, yes. Some means we are using again this one. Okay. Like, and q of x is q of x, and the next, which is it is which is divisible by 3, it is associated with s of x and s of x. Okay, we'll see one more example, that is a fifth one, uh, or considering the sixth one even. uh, yes, this will see. If x is even and a perfect square, then x is not divisible by 3. Okay, if x is even means it is q of x, it is related, it is belongs to q of x. Okay, or is not divisible by 7, it is related to p of x. Sorry. Then x is divisible by 3, x is divisible by 3 means x is divisible by 3. No, no, we are using this one. If x is even, if x is, we are taking, if x is even, yes, we are using this one, right? If x is odd, if x is even, and if and a perfect square, then x is not divisible by 3, x is not divisible by 3, x is not divisible by 3, it is s of x. Okay, how to frame this in a symbolic form is, there is, uh, if you see the laws of logic concept, there is if then else, if then uh, proposition here, if then. Okay, and for all,